Mind Shift Friday. Every Friday we bring you conversations to provoke your thinking. Today I ask the question, are you a victor or are you a victim? Do you have a victor's mentality or do you carry a victim mentality? Because these two mentalities affect how you look at things and how you live your life. This morning, I get to hang out with Reverend Dr. Martin Nyagah. He is a community activist, a peer counselor, a pastor, and he also runs a counseling office in Kikuyu, helping families in crisis and also the youth where issues of drugs and social adjustments are concerned. Reverend Dr. Martin Nyagah, how are you doing, sir?
I'm well, sir.
Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you in studio.
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. How would you define a victim mentality? Yeah.
Right. I think, first of all, let me say I'm very grateful to be in this studio today.
Yeah.
And you've said what I am, and one of the more things that I'm very proud to be is to be a chaplain.
You're a chaplain?
In a school called Skyline School, Mugoga. It's a work that I know, I work with families and the students. It's a work I love so much.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, if, to be a victim or a victor, and you've asked me, what does it mean to be a victim?
Yeah, a victim mentality.
Yeah, a victim mentality. What is victim mentality? We realize that in life, or in the life that we live today, our thought patterns determine the kind of life we live, the quality of life that we live. And a victim mentality is a kind of mentality where the attitude, the cognitive attitudes, the mental attitude, the mental biases, and the mental, what you call the mental patterns are directed towards a side of life, you know, that is defeated with a sense of helplessness and a fatalistic nature. That is, there's nothing good I'm waiting for. The defeat is already accomplished.
Okay.
Yes, I'm only waiting to live the failure life. That's a victim mentality. And it anchors on the three aspects of our cognitive that I've mentioned. That is the cognitive attitude. What is your mindset? What is the positioning of your mind in relationship to the happenings of life around us?
Yes.
And then we have the biases. The bias is what choice am I making in my mind concerning what is happening around me or to me. Then you have the patterns. How have I choreographed my mind to handle the things around my life?
Yes.
That directs me to responses. The patterns determine my responses. The patterns are actually aligned or they are very close to my personality.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So meaning then that if I have a victim mentality, I may experience failure, not necessarily because the opportunities were not there or the resources were not there, but it's simply because of the thinking that I have held on to. Yes.
A victim mentality is actually a predisposition to failure. Yes, it predetermines failure in a very big way, such that a victim mentality positions an individual in a very precarious situation of life.
Yeah.
That even when they have won, they don't see the victory.
Oh.
They are right inside the victory.
Yeah.
But they themselves are an oasis of failure.
Oh, that's huge.
Yes, in the victory.
Yes.
They get a new job.
Yes.
The first thing they see in the new job is this boss who doesn't like them. He has started picking on me.
Yeah.
So
Day one.
Day one.
Yes.
They have something wrong about the office they have been given. Oh, it's not clean. The victim mentality is a self-defeating mentality. It's a defeatist mentality. Yes, sir.
How does one get there? Is it something that somebody is born with? Is it something that an attitude that somebody acquires because of how they were nurtured and what they were exposed to. Mtu anafikagaje hapo?
Kwa kweli, you know, a victim mentality can be self-propagated, or it can be other propagated.
Okay.
What the meaning of this is that the cause of a victim mentality can come from outside. It can be external in the process of growth, or at the time of birth, or in our past experiences.
Okay.
Or it can be a victim mentality can be something that you have acquired, even in old age.
Oh, even in old age?
Yes. You've seen very positive people turning negative because of a traumatic experience. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So you find, for instance, if an adult is about to get married, and as I use this, you know, I'm using this with my particular example. And you're just about to get married, and something dramatic happens in your life.
Yes.
Concerning the marriage. Preparations or the marriage itself. You're likely to get negative concerning marriages, because if you're about to get married, it means you're in love.
Yes.
And if the love is turning sour at the end of, and at the tail end, then that points to one thing, that the person can turn and say marriage is worthless, weddings are a waste of time.
Yes.
Women are.
It's interesting you say that.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, we grew up together. We were classmates in primary school. We were classmates in secondary school. And we've kept tabs all this time. And I think for him, marriage and relationships didn't work.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you say that, because just the other day, he had put a post on social media, and he was saying, wanaume wacheni tu niwaambie, don't ever get married. Women are a waste of time. Women will do it. He had a lot to say, and I was just reading the comments and thinking, well, I understand where you're coming from, because that was your experience.
Yeah.
But your experience is not,
everybody's
experience. Yes. Mine is very different from yours.
Yes. And that's one of the characteristics you look at of victim mentality. Because they tend to generalize.
Oh.
They generalize, they catastrophize life.
Yes.
They exaggerate bad news. Those are some of their characteristics. Yes, sir.
Wow, they exaggerate bad news.
They pick on a small dot of some bad news somewhere, or some small happening somewhere, and they make it a universal truth or principle. Okay. They force you to accept it.
Yeah.
Because that is one way of bringing you to their world. Because people who carry victim mentality have a tendency of seeking pity.
Yes.
They call for pity parties
pity
at every corner.
Pastor, I was just thinking about this, and I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think about what my thought process is.
Yes, sir.
When I think about our nation, and when I look at how we react to situations and what we say about different things, I think many of us have a victim mentality. And we look at ourselves as victims of the government, victims of the different regimes that have been in power in this nation.
Yes.
And so because of that defeatist mentality that you've talked about, even things we can do for ourselves to improve our own lives, we don't do.
Yes.
Because tunangojea serikali. Yes. And we are always quick to blame, but never to look for solutions and never to provide solutions, because what else can I do? I'm just a victim. I don't know what you think.
Yeah. It is called learned helplessness.
Oh, there's learned helplessness.
Yes, I hope my Bishop Fred Geke is not listening to me.
Bishop Fred Geke is also my bishop.
Oh, because his English is at another level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Learned
his English and his writing.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
It's called learned helplessness. And as a nation, I can say we have gotten there. So the other day I got to rebuke someone on an alumni group where we belong.
Yes.
And I was saying, why are we here talking about the government day in, day out? Why are we talking about leaders? You are attacking spiritual leaders. You are attacking government, political leaders. Everybody who seems to be above you is worth above.
Yes.
What is all this about?
What is all this
about? And I said, okay, it's okay, they are wrong.
Yeah.
But let's look at ourselves.
Yes.
I am a leader in my family. Look at the failures that you have in that family.
Ooh.
Is that a government failure?
Ooh. Yes.
Look at the parenting wars in our families and marriages.
Yeah.
Is that a government failure? Don't you see that as a nation we have something to do at an individual level?
Yes.
At a community level? The other day we had a major community mobilization in my village. And I love this mentality because we realize that we cannot wait for the county government or the national government to change the educational standards of our people.
No.
They will not have time. We've been there for the last 50 years in that village. And it has not, I mean, I've never met a chief who gave me 50 shillings for sugar.
No.
So for me to, sugar during our day in the village, way back, we have even bought sugar at 5 shillings per kilo. So today, if you tell me that the cost of living has gone up, I think at my age I should be the one to complain most.
Yes.
Because
you experienced that one of 5 bob.
The 5 bob.
Yes.
Na jameni haiko inapatikana hata hiyo 5 bob.
Hata hiyo 5 bob. I was telling the church I passed a couple of weeks ago that when I think back to those days you're talking about,
yes, sir,
bus fare was 80 cents, but the cost of living was still high.
Yeah.
It was still high. It's always been high.
It's always been high.
Yeah, yes.
The way to make it lower is to improve your income and your creativity.
Yes.
In generating income. And also above that, for people to understand money has never been enough. And to have a victor's mentality.
Yes.
Come out of the victim mentality that I'm poor because someone is rich. No. Am I in hospital because somebody is healthy? No. I just need to ask myself, what do I need to get my health back? That is a victor's mentality. Yes.
Pastor, before we jump onto that victor's mentality, maybe something you can share before we listen to some music.
Yeah.
Is it possible for somebody to be having a victim mentality and not realize it? And if that's true, then what are some telltale signs that can pinpoint to me that I actually have a victim mentality?
Okay, it is very possible. It's very possible for one to carry a victim. Actually, many of them don't know. Because it comes as a shield, as a defense for the heart that has come to them.
Yeah.
And they have to do this, and some of them don't even know what is happening.
Yeah.
If you can look at some of the telltale signs of a victim mentality, you realize that it's not something that a person can easily diagnose on their own. I know there is revelation of God.
Yes.
I know there is a revelation of God. The Holy Spirit can reveal to someone that this is what you're suffering from.
Yeah.
But it requires someone else, even a friend, or sometimes an enemy, to just tell you, I don't like your stinking thinking, you know. And you realize,
thinking.
Yes. What did he say? Why did he say that? Why do I think?
Yeah.
You know. But there are telltale signs of victim mentality, and like we have said earlier, one of them is that helplessness, living in a state of helplessness.
Yes.
The other thing that can tell one that that someone is suffering from a victim mentality is something we call irresponsibility. A victim mentality individual will never take responsibility.
Yeah.
They always assign it to someone else.
It's always somebody else's fault.
If something goes wrong, it's someone else.
Someone else.
Yes. And even if they do good, they shy away from sharing that as an accomplishment. They normally target the negatives.
Yes.
They run away from responsibility. Another thing is complacency and lethargy.
Yes.
They lose the power for initiative. So they live also in powerlessness. They have no self-drive.
Yes.
Unless for negative things.
Oh.
They can go to any lengths.
Yes.
To accomplish that which is negative. At times, it's a way of drawing attention.
They love the pity.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the masters of pity parties.
Yes. Another telltale sign of victim mentality is what we call aggression.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And the most queer of this form of aggression is what we call aggression to self.
Oh.
Like what you call maybe non-suicidal self-harm. If you go to schools today, you realize there are boys who hide their arms. They will never be pulled over. Or girls.
Yes.
They are mutilated, their skin.
They keep cutting themselves.
They keep cutting themselves. And it could be a sign of a victim mentality. They direct harm to themselves. The world is too hurting. And they find no other joy than in pain.
Wow, that is twisted.
It's twisted. And now you can see there are levels of victim mentality.
Yeah.
There's one that someone just merely thinks and, thinks negatively, but it grows. It is progressive. It can reach to a point of a disorder, a behavioral disorder, that actually requires diagnosis and treatment by a therapist or a trained individual, specialist.
Okay. Shortly, we'll talk about then how do we turn things around. If I recognize that I'm somebody with a victim mentality, how do I turn that to be somebody with a victor's mentality? We are talking about victor or victim. Which mentality do you carry? Reverend Dr. Martin Nyagah is with us in studio. I can see a couple of comments coming in. There's one that says, Pastor James, I have a colleague who has just turned 59 and he has a self-consolation defense not to get married. It is better to live alone in the desert than to share a house with a nagging wife. Very hopeless victim mentality. I hope he's able to change that. D in Kiambu, good to hear from you. D anasema, so right, Mr. Nyagah. Non-suicidal self-harm. I was one of those kids in high school, hiding 12 cuts on my left arm as reasons why life was unfair. Comparison with others was my vice. Thank God I resolved. Wow. D, thank you for sharing. John Githanga, you say I'm a victor. Lately, I've had to avoid some of my old friends because of their negative attitude. Indeed, as you have rightly said, majority of Kenyans love to criticize everything, especially everything that the government does. The fact that someone else is succeeding doesn't mean that you are failing. I've discovered that comparison is one of the most toxic mentality of appropriating blame to other people in Kenya. Wow. John Githanga, thank you very much. Pastor, what can you say about the whole issue of comparison? Because Dee has mentioned it, and John Githanga has also mentioned it.
Yeah. Comparison is, it really does what? It makes us lose the energy that we would have used, or it saps us of the energy we would have used in building up momentum in our lives, gathering resources, or even reflecting on the areas we need to improve. Because when we compare, it is not, we are not using any scientific way of maybe I'm comparing myself with you, but I don't know you.
Yeah.
I'm only seeing the outside.
Yes.
You see me driving, you don't know whether it's alone.
Yes.
Or it's a hired car.
It's not even your, maybe it's not even your car.
It's even not in my mind.
Yeah.
But now you start walking around saying, oh, I want to buy a car like him. You see you are in school with him, he is ahead of me.
Yes.
You know, that's one of the things that has really eaten people up. Because I see someone with something I think is better, and the following morning I'm at the bank manager's office to get a loan to take me to where my friend is. I don't know what means he used to reach where he is. So we need to come to a point of contentment with where I am as I look forward.
Yes.
As I look forward to becoming better. As I work towards becoming better. I'm content with where I am. I'm content with whom I am. I'm only getting better.
Yes.
Not by the standard of someone close to me.
No.
Or far from me.
No.
No. Not by the standards of the Americans. No. But by the standard that is set by my own potential. There is a potential in me.
I like that.
That should set the standard, not the accomplishments of the other person. Your accomplishments can star me.
Yes.
Say, oh, he was my classmate, look how he is doing, I'm happy for him. But in comparison, that is not what we do.
Yeah.
We sneer at your success and say, or all that negativity.
Yes.
So a comparison in most of the time is actually negative, and it falls under the category of what we can call a negative or victim mentality. Yeah, because
I've also realized. Sorry for cutting you short, Pastor.
Yes,
I've also realized that when I have a victim mentality, I become blind to opportunities.
Absolutely.
Because I'm looking for the next thing to blame.
Yeah.
So even when opportunities come, I don't see them. And then when other people grab those opportunities, I start saying how they are favored, how life is against me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because victim mentality builds maladaptive behaviors in a person. You're not able to adapt to any environment.
Yes.
And the way you adapt is negative. The skills you carry are antisocial. So in any environment you go, you find actually that victim mentality blindens you to the opportunities within that organization, within that school, within that family.
Yeah.
And you see, that's where many families are today.
Okay.
Where people kick off as very good lovers and friends and all that.
Yeah.
But the moment they get in, they start gathering information from those who got married before.
Yes.
And those who got married in that family before. And all of a sudden, they have a picture of their own marriage.
Oh.
That makes them, pull away from their own partner, pull away from their own children, pull away from their own house they have built. They don't feel, this is not all. I have a house in Kikuyu, and my friend now is telling me they have a house in Karen. What is a house in Kikuyu anyway? And you start developing unsocial behavior,
yes,
or rather maladaptive behaviors in your own environment, in your immediate environment. I believe that with all due respect, it is important for people to understand that as one man said that life is in phases.
Yes.
Men are in sizes.
Oh.
If you want to change your phase, increase your size.
Increase your size.
Yeah, simple.
Pastor, let's talk about solutions then. If I'm listening to this conversation and I realize I actually have a victim mentality, how do I turn it around so that I have a victor's mentality?
Great. How do I turn around a victim mentality into a victor's mentality? The first thing is it's important to I don't want to use the word diagnose. It is important to ask yourself, where is this coming from? Can I dig into the roots of this victim mentality? Where did I pick it from?
Yes.
Did I lose a parent and I felt like
life has become hopeless?
Life has become hopeless and hurting that, victim mentality even goes to an extent of blaming God.
Yeah.
Who is God anyway? If he took away my, if he took away my friend, if he took away my parent, and you feel that God, you don't need God in your life.
Yeah.
So it's important to, first of all, point at a finger at where did this begin? Can I trace back and know, did I get it from my immediate background? Did I get it from, is it pre-birth? Is it at birth? Is it in my family environment? Because negative space also, does a lot to our mentality. Yes, negative space. Like the way you sing about your friend.
Yeah.
If you hang out with that guy,
yes,
for 3 hours a day in a week,
hey,
you adopt the language.
Yes.
Your do's become your don'ts. Your yeses become your no's, and you just turn. So I think it is important, first of all, to identify the cause root of the victim mentality in me, and do a deconstruction of my mentality.
Yes.
I have either through therapy or maybe through, I can teach myself their self-help books, or through a therapist, or through a pastor. They can help us through the word of God, through counseling. They can help us or give us skills that will help us get out of the victim mentality. Other than identifying the root cause, it's also important to identify the presenting symptoms. If I'm saying I have a negative, I have a victim mentality, I should be able to identify the presenting symptom. What symptoms are there to show that I have a victim mentality? Because you'll be able to see how your victim mentality presents itself, or rather, you'll be specific in dealing with it.
Yeah.
If it is self-harm, then you know how to deal with it. If it is negative self-talk,
Yes.
if it is self-sabotage, you know how to deal with it. Yes, so it's important to get to know the specific symptoms of your own kind.
Yeah.
Because we are not the same.
Yeah.
And then get a specific cure for it or treatment for it. If it is through aggression, violence, frustration, passivity, we need to know how to deal with that specifically as per case.
Okay.
Then the other thing is maybe through an helper, a therapist or a counselor, or if not through a counselor, through self-help books.
Yes.
You should get skills or techniques that will help us turn our thoughts around. Because it's all in the thoughts.
It's all in it's all here.
Yes, someone said that, a wise man said the other day that your mental status determines your life status. So what is my mental status?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
So is he.
So how do I think? I know some of these things are very subtle.
Yeah.
It is in a small things as saying I don't have. Every time there are people you ask for 5 shillings, I don't have.
I don't have.
When will you have? Ati serikali tangu ingie sipati
Sina
pesa.
pesa.
Where was your money when the other government was in place?
And I was telling believers that, you know, even when COVID hit, some people, their businesses actually thrived.
Sure thing.
But if you would have asked them, wanasema tu, mambo ni mbaya, COVID may affect business sana. And I was telling, that's a self-prophecy you're prophesying over your business. Alafu ukianguka utakuja kutuambia hapa maombi.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so I think that, and then the other thing that we need to do, the third thing is, someone needs to take control of their thoughts.
Yes.
Because there are thoughts that literally need to be tamed at a personal level.
Yes.
That you can tell when the thought is coming.
Yes.
And before you verbalize it, or before you process it to the next level, you arrest it and speak to it. And say, this is not what I want to think about.
Yeah.
For instance, there are people who have a problem. Anytime you enter a vehicle, you tell them to pray. They pray against an accident. It tells you what they are thinking.
Yes.
It tells you the fear, the paranoid. They are paranoid about accidents. Anytime they're in a vehicle, they feel they are victims of an accident. You know, they are too exposed. And that informs one about the kind of thoughts you have. There are people, many believers today have been taken over by the gospel that teaches them that you're so vulnerable that God cannot help. It's, you know, you've got to attack the devil if you'll be helped.
Yes. You're always attacking the devil everywhere.
Everywhere. You know, and for some people it's getting out of the way. It's really getting out of the way. And that's where we need to take control, take charge over your thought system. Be the one in charge of your thoughts. Don't allow your thoughts to fly.
Yeah.
That's one of the things we have with addicts. Whether it is drug addicts or sexual addicts or internet addicts, they are not able to control their actions at the thought level. If they can do that, they have taken charge over their lives. They have taken over to the victor's mentality. Yes.
Somebody said that you cannot stop a bird from flying over your head.
Yes.
But you can stop it from building a nest on your head.
Do you also have a victim mentality around here? Because we are talking about victims, you're not talking about victors.
No, we are defining it. So that
all right, we are defining it.
Yeah, we have like 3 minutes
all right, sir.
As we wrap up. So then, how do I know I have a victor's mentality? What does a victor's mentality look like?
How does one know that they have a victor's mentality?
Yes.
Victor's mentality.
Victor, yes.
Victor. Someone with a victor's mentality is positive. They work with a degree of positivity in their lives.
Yes.
That no matter what is happening around them, they can see their role before they describe the role of the other person. If something has gone wrong, they are not quick to pick on the role of the other person. They ask themselves, what could I have done to prevent this? Or what can I do to solve this?
Yes.
Other than starting by passing the buck, blaming others.
Yes.
That if you did this one would not have happened. And now you know you have to do this to change what you have done.
Yes.
They abscond from duty. Where responsibility is supposed to be taken up at a personal level, they are not there. But a victor will always take up responsibility. That is one clear thing. Then a victor's mentality as self-drive and initiative. They are out for solutions.
Yes.
They are creative. They don't fear to fail. And a victor mentality, when one carries a victor mentality, they are adventurous.
Okay.
They don't fear.
Yes.
They will attempt, not even first or twice or that. They'll attempt until they get what they want.
Yeah.
They will not look back at the mistakes and bring them forward.
They learn from their mistakes.
They learn from their mistakes and leave the mistakes behind,
Yes.
and they carry the lesson forward to the next attempt. Another thing about a victor's mentality is they know how to hook onto significant others around them for synergy. They don't antagonize others, like in the victor's, in the victim's mentality.
Yes.
They synergize with their environment, the people, the resources.
Yes.
They are very quick at locating those resources,
Yes.
whether they be people or things. And I think when you come, we also look at victors. One who carries a victor's mentality is as a tendency to do what? To seek to grow. They seek to grow.
They seek to grow.
They seek to grow.
Yes.
And in their seeking to grow, there is something they have let go. They have a bigger space in their heart. They have a bigger space in their heart for heart harm, risk taking, so they can accommodate more people.
Wow.
You may hurt them, but it's something they have taught themselves in life.
Yes.
That it is not the heart that matters. It is not the wound that matters. It's not the pain that matters. It is how I respond to the wound.
To the wound.
Yes,
Master, imagine our time is up. I wish we had another hour to keep going in this conversation, but I love the nuggets you've given us today.
Thank you.
And I'm sure a good number of people have identified. Asante sana.
Thank you, sir.
We will
Thank you,
call you
Pastor.
back and dig deeper into this conversation.
I'll appreciate.
My time is up for this conversation. I hope you're able to identify yourself. If you are a victor, keep going. If you have a victim mentality, start readjusting and move over to this other side. Let's not be a nation of complainers. Let's be a nation of people who offer solutions and go after solutions and lift one another up to make life better for everybody. Thank you for watching. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get notified whenever we upload new fresh content every day. Stay tuned and enjoy fresh, uplifting content.